And welcome back to Don Hertler Senior Field, our Health Plan TV replay game of the week. Louisville at North Canton Hoover. And before tonight's opening kickoff, let's go down on the sideline and Todd Porter with several special guests. Todd?
Well, guys, thanks. It was a very emotional scene down here in pregame. There was a moment of silence for Zach Herrera, the junior football player, 16 years old, who tragically passed away this summer from a brain aneurysm. And I'm joined by his family right now, his father, Mike Herrera, his mother, Gwen Herrera, and his sister, Lexi Herrera. Mike, what was that moment like when the student section over here released the orange and black balloons? Just what an incredible display of sportsmanship.
You know, it started with Brush last week. It continues today with Louisville. Just the pure class and respect that these communities are showing to our family and our community. It's overwhelming, and it truly is helping us get through this.
Well, it's very therapeutic for you guys to be out here. I'm sure a bittersweet day for you guys. But what do you expect from this crowd tonight, and how therapeutic is it for you guys to come out here and get the support of your friends and family?
The community's been unbelievable. They've been so kind to us, generous, stood behind us, and we're so thankful.
And Lexi, you came all the way from Penn State today.
Penn State, here I am. I just want to say thank you to the entire North Canton community and the visiting team for being so classy and just so supportive of my family. I'm truly grateful. Zach Strong forever.
Guys, listen, they are competitors for sure, but first and foremost, the kids from Louisville and Hoover are brothers. Thanks a lot, Herrera family. Our prayers and thoughts are with you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Todd. We appreciate that. Our very best from the booth as well to the Herrera family. We appreciate them joining us in a very tough situation here this evening. We are ready to kick it off. We'll check in with Jim Ballard here in a moment with our MCTV keys to the game. So that's coming up. It'll be Eric Sabra, number 9, to kick off for the Hoover Vikings. And it'll be Adams and Hartline back deep. And settling under it is Max Hartline. Oh, it's going to be a touchback. And we'll come out to the 20-yard line. All right, let's check with Jim Ballard now. Jim, how about the MCTV keys to the game?
For Louisville, no turnovers. Last week they got behind a little bit. A couple turnovers led to 14 Canfield points before they ended up coming back in the fourth quarter. The other thing is they've got to contain number 16 for Hoover. That's John Keller, which we talked about at the outset. For Hoover, you got to stop Tyler Adams. You can't let him have any big plays. You got to keep him in front of you, kind of like what we saw from Dzinski last night. And you also got to run your offense through Johnny Keller. Get him involved in the run as well as the pass.
All right, thanks a lot, Jim. Those are your MCTV keys to the game. And right on cue, Brody Hahn comes out and fires a strike to Tyler Adams. Pretty nice pickup on first down, a gain of 8 yards. Brody Hahn is a senior. Adams also a senior. We'll take a look at the starting lineups after this play. Second down and about 2 for the Leopards. Trips to the right and carrying the football straight ahead. I believe that was Gavin Van Zant, number 26. All right, the starting lineups for Louisville brought to you by Omni Orthopedics. Adams, Davis, Thomas, and Hartline are your wide receivers up front. Warren, Demidimikas, Thatcher, and Lotzenheiser, along with Martino. The quarterback is Hahn, and the running back is Van Zant. We'll check that Hoover defense after this next play. First down on that carry by Van Zant. That first down brought to you by the Wacom Auto Group. First and 10 now. Leopards with trips to the near side here.
Hoover showing blitz off the edge. Brody Hahn sees it, gets it out quick. Good read. Nice job seeing it off the edge.
Sarbaugh makes the tackle on Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams with his second catch here in this opening drive. All right, Hoover defensively. Up front, you've got Hayden, Wolf, and Laughlin. The linebackers are Graham, Smith, and Smith. Also adding Vallis and Sarbaugh. In the secondary, McHenry, Jeniton, and Binney. Second down and about 7 now. Van Zant nowhere to go, and he is dropped immediately. Fine play there by the linebacker Dylan Smith, the 6'2 senior.
26, Gavin Van Zant.
Defensively, Hoover's playing a 3-3 defense, which means that they've got 5 guys left. 5 guys left on their back end. They're trying to play with more speed as opposed to playing big up front. They don't have a lot of guys that are 250, 260 pounds like we saw last night in the Massillon-Gleno game. So they're trying to get downhill with their defense with speed as opposed to size.
Trips to the far side. Hahn looking, he's not going to be able to throw it. He's in trouble. Now he does. It's intercepted. And it's Binney with the interception for the Vikings at the 35-yard line, and the first turnover of the ball game.
Number 23,
So a turnover on the opening possession for the Leopards gives the Vikings excellent field position at the Louisville 33-yard line.
Hoover doing what it's doing best, and that's like coming off last week's win against Brush. Defense created, Dave, 6 turnovers on the road. I think Brody Hahn on that last play did a great job of extending the play, but just tried to do a little bit too much. Just should have simply thrown the ball out of bounds.
We will take a look at the starting lineups for Hoover offense and Louisville defense in a moment. Straight ahead, the carry. And that was number 24, Nate George, on the carry. All right, for Hoover offensively, again brought to you by Omni Orthopedics. The wideouts, Nicholson, Harris, Sarbar, and Reisinger. Up front, it's Vanest, Allison Wood, and Kay, along with McDonald. The quarterback is Keller, and the running back, Nate George. Second down and about 8. Keller going to gun it right side. It is caught. 25 to the 22, spinning away, and inside the 20 to the 19. Nice play and a catch there by number 9, Eric Sarbaugh. Jim, you mentioned him in the pregame. He's going to be on the field and almost the entire night, isn't he?
Yes, he sure is. He's not coming off the field. He plays every special team there is.
All right, defensively for Louisville. Up front, Sturtzbaugh, Deckard, Dorshik, and Leonard. The linebackers are now Vanover and Barone. Corners, Adams, and in the secondary then Weston, McKinney, and White. First down and 10. And it's going to be Keller on a quarterback keeper, and he'd be lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage. Now, Jim, you have worked extensively with both Keller and Hahn. Tell us about some of the characteristics you like, first of all, with Keller.
Well, Keller's he's a one-sport athlete. He did play multiple sports at one time, but Johnny's focus, as it's always been, has been to be a Division I quarterback. So he's been working out extremely hard in the offseason. He's very quick. He's got a speed and agility guy. He runs extremely well.
And we'll talk more about Hahn when Louisville's back on offense. This is George again, and he's got some pretty good yardage as he takes it down inside the 20 and down near the 16. Tackled by Cole Weston for the Leopards.
Like Keller was trying to pull that ball. Looks like he had an alley up in the middle of the field.
Well, we're looking at a 3rd down and 6 now for the Vikings, trying to take advantage of an early interception by their defense. 3rd and 6, ball at the 16-yard line. Keller back, looking right, pressure. Goes to step up, and he'll be brought down, and a loss of about 2 yards. And breaking through, Cade Sturtzbaugh, the defensive end, number 24, and he had some help from some friends, but again, Cade Sturtzbaugh, a guy that Todd Porter highlighted in the opening.
Yes, he did. He got a lot of pressure up front. I think John could have stepped up and simply thrown the ball away. Anytime you're in the red zone, you don't want to lose any yards, especially when you're lining up to kick the field goal.
Here's Eric Sarbaugh out of the hold of Binney. Sarbaugh, an excellent kicker. Left-footed. And you're looking at a 35-yarder high snap. The kick is on its way, and it is good.
And that kick is
with plenty of distance. From 35 yards out, the Hoover Vikings are on top over Louisville by a score of 3-0.
Louisville, nothing.
It's an excellent hold, getting that ball down on a high snap.
We're going to show you a replay of this kick from field level. And plenty of distance. That might have been good from 45.
You know, one thing that's really tough for a kicker is when he does see the ball snap, just to stay focused and just assume that holder's going to get the ball down and you're going to be able to kick it in rhythm. Sarbaugh did a good job of approaching it, really hit it well on a high snap, and it's 3-0 Hoover. As we talked about, Dave, turnovers early. North Canton Hoover's creating 6 last week. Louisville turning the ball over twice on the road at Canfield. Really had their offense struggling until the 4th quarter when they turned it on. To see if Brody Hahn and the offense can regroup here a little bit and get a nice drive to answer this turnover and points for North Canton Hoover.
Hoover leading 3-0 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard over Louisville. Dave Sheets, Jim Ballard, sideline reporter Todd Porter, our statistician Bob Jeffries. Jim will check the scoring drive after this kick. Adams and Hartline are back deep inside their own 5. Wanted to mention, we at kickoff tonight had a temperature of 71 degrees. A little bit of wind coming from the north at 12 miles an hour. And North Canton did win the toss, however, they did defer. And that's why Louisville got the football first here tonight. So Hoover will get the ball to start the second half. Sarbaugh is ready. And there's the kick, high and deep. That's going to carry into the end zone. So a touchback once again, and the Leopards will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Leopards will begin their operation.
Glad you're with us here tonight. It's a doubleheader weekend for us. Of course, earlier this week we had Massillon and Glen Oak. What a ball game that was last night over at Glen Oak with the Tigers winning. And tonight, it's Louisville and Hoover renewing their long-time rivalry. Hahn in the backfield. Put Adams in motion, and he'll give it to Adams, running that left side. Has a blocker. Look out, good speed. 30, 40, 45, and slung out of bounds. All the way into Hoover territory. And let's see where they mark him out. It appears it will be, well, they're going to mark it back at the 49-yard line. So nice play call there.
Jet sweep by Louisville to get the ball in their playmaker's hands, number 15, Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams this summer spent some time, Dave, up at Ohio State, ran a laser time of 4.51. Now, why the MAC hasn't jumped all over this kid is absolutely beyond me.
Van Zandt gets the fake handoff. It's going to be Hahn around the corner. Hahn turns that corner, good speed, and he lumbers down near the 38-yard line. That'll be another Wacom Auto Group first down for the Louisville Leopards. So 2 quick plays, and here come the Leopards.
They could beat you one of 2 ways. They could beat you with through the air last week. Brody Hahn, 22 for 40 for 269 yards. He also led the team with 18 carries for 52 yards. They're a pretty well-balanced team. They need to run it a little bit better than they did last week, but right now they got it going.
And Todd will ask you to analyze what you know about Brody Hahn in just a moment. This is Van Zandt. Van Zandt with some yardage inside the 35, down near the 34. That's going to be a gain of about 4 yards. How about Brody Hahn? What do you know about Brody?
Number 35, John Ballas on the stop.
Brody Hahn is a kid who I think they're a little upset with him. He'd like to have that last pass back. And right now, what they had happen during practice this week, they had a hard time on their scout team simulating this Hoover defense.
2nd down and 6. Hahn running left, and he'll get driven out of bounds on that far side. And Jim, how about your analysis of Hahn?
Well, I've spent a lot of time with him. I've worked with Brody since he's a 7th grader. He's a great kid. He works extremely hard, like a lot of the Louisville kids. You know, they put time in, you know, with a speed and agility guy. I had Brody over at the house on Sunday breaking down film for this week and last week. They had 3 of their starting receivers, which are all new, which all can make plays. He's a good player, and he's just the best way to describe Dave is he's just simply a gamer. He just games and just gets it done one way or another. The throw he made last week to beat Canfield, 4th and 10, rolling left, spots Tyler Adams streaking right to left to hit him on the inside of the close hash was an unbelievable play.
3rd down and 5. Here comes the blitz. Ball down the field in the middle for Adams, and tipped and incomplete. Ball was a little bit underthrown. Adams was behind the defender, but nice reaction by Sarbaugh in the secondary. Nice play defensively.
Sure was. Tyler Adams had him beat. Brody had a little bit of pressure. It looked like they played cover 0 with no safeties back there. You can see the other corner coming into your screen from right to left was playing man-to-man. If Brody pulls it a little bit to his left or just gets it out a little bit further, I know Tyler Adams goes up and makes that play.
So too long for a field goal. 4th down and 5. The Leopards not afraid to go for it here.
Got one-on-one coverage to the top.
Ball at the 33. Hahn throws middle. Intercepted. Picked off. On the return, 35-40. And out to the 45-yard line. And picking off the football is number 15, Zach McHenry. And we will make this interception by McHenry our first nominee for our Friends and Family Credit Union Rock Solid Play of the Game. Jim and I will select our play of the game at the end of tonight's contest. How about that play?
I'm not sure, even from the replay, I'm not sure exactly what Brody was seeing. To me, I don't know if the play was called to the right, but he had an isolation to the top of the screen, as I was saying, with the offensive defense set up, where he could have just thrown the 6-yard hitch for the first down. I don't know if the play called, as I said, was to the right. The safety sat all over it and jumped the route completely, and Louisville's turned the ball over for 2 straight possessions.
First down and 10 for the Vikings. They lead 3-0. Keller with a fake. He's going to try to run. He's in trouble, and he'll get a couple as he carries out near the 48-yard line. Tackle made defensively by number 62, Jimmy Leonard, defensive end, a junior for the Leopards.
One thing that you're not going to see a team do against Louisville very well is run the ball. I remember back to the early 2008s when they had a stud, 2-time Mr. Ohio running back, Eric Howard. Never let that kid rush for 100 yards, man. I would remember watching it on TV. Anytime he had the ball, it was like somebody kicked a hornet's nest. Every time one guy would hit him, there was 4 or 5 just all over him, stinging him and hitting him. Louisville always flies to the ball defensively.
Great description. Second down and 8 at the 48. Low snap, Keller digs it out. Has all kinds of time. Throws right side and broken up. Nice play by Tyler Adams as he dove in front of the intended receiver. It was intended for Alex Nicholson, the 6-foot senior. He was double covered, and Adams made a nice play defensively.
Great pass protection by North Canton Hoover's offensive line. They're not a bunch of big guys across the front, but they do a good job of giving time and also allowing them to run the ball effectively.
Third down and 8. Keller going to roll. Here comes pressure. He throws. It's caught. 50 and to the 45-yard line. He's going to be short by about a yard. I believe that was Ben Harris. Let's go down on the field and check in with our Todd Porter. This report brought to you by SARTA. Todd?
Hey, guys, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I talked to John DeMarco before the game. I asked him, what kind of week of practice did you have? And John said, listen, I can't tell you what kind of week of practice we had because I don't know how good a look we got from our scout team. And right now, I think you're seeing that on the field. They didn't get a real good look this week from their scout team defense, and Brody Hahn is struggling a little bit.
All right, thanks a lot, Todd. That report brought to you by our good friends at SARTA. Fourth down and 2. Sarbaugh kicks it away. And it'll bounce into the end zone and come out to the 20-yard line. So the Louisville defense holds, and they'll get the football back. We've got a timeout with 5:09 to go here in the first quarter. It's Hoover 3, Louisville nothing on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Back at North Canton after a Hoover punt, Louisville trailing 3-0 to get the ball back. Our score, Hoover 3-0 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. And at the 20-yard line, it's first down and 10. Van Zandt to the right of Hahn. Quick toss. Catch made. 20 to the 24-yard line. Reception by Max Hartline, the sophomore wideout. Binney on the tackle. And a gain of about 4 yards on first down.
Just squeezing the linebacker off the slot receiver, which is kind of an automatic. The receiver sees it, quarterback sees it. Brody's going to signal to him, and they're just going to throw it quick. They ended up bringing the guy off the edge. You pick up 4 yards on that play, it's just as good as a running play.
Absolutely. Second down and 6 now. We're going to mark it at the 25, so we'll give him an extra yard. Second and 5. Trips to the far side. Handoff Van Zandt. Tries to turn the corner, and he is met and maybe a half a yard as he is knocked down quickly. And coming up on the bottom of the pile, number 35. John Valos with the tackle, and along with Jenniden. So no gain, third down and 5 call now for the Leopards as we come up on 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Hoover leading 3-0. On a 35-yard field goal by Sarbaugh a short time ago. Trips again to the far side for Brody Hahn. Hahn back. He's looking left. Here comes pressure. And he is going to be sacked back inside the 20-yard line at the 18. And the Hoover defense rises to the occasion in 3 series, 2 interceptions, and a 3-and-out coming up.
Hoover's defense playing with a lot of confidence. They brought the blitz. They bring in more than what Louisville can block. The thing that I noticed on this series, Dave, was instead of going with a 3-3, they brought in another defensive lineman and went to a 4-3, kind of brought more pressure from the big fellas. And as you can see in that series, wreaked a lot of havoc inside on the run, and versus the pass.
That was Seth Graham with the sack, high snap. Hahn with a high floater. Fair catch signal, and the catch made by Donnie Jennington, and Hoover gets the football in Louisville territory. We've got a timeout, 3:06 to go in the first quarter. Our score, Hoover 3, Louisville nothing on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Back at North Canton, Hoover leading 3-0 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. George with the carry and still on his feet. A great run there. Check that. Was that George or was that was 26? Luke Rykowski. And the fake, no, Rykowski going to try again right side, and he'll pick up a couple of more as he is very close to that Hoover first down. And Jim, the Vikings are enjoying great field position here in the first quarter.
Yeah, they sure are. And the way that it's being set up is by Sarbaugh. You know, he's put the opening kickoff into the end zone. They force a turnover defensively. They come out, they get a field goal. He trots back on the field. He puts another one in the end zone, which puts Hoover again. Or I'm sorry, it puts Louisville again on their own 20-yard line, and then they didn't flip the field offensively, and Hoover's got a short field right now.
And a quick toss to the far side, caught at the 30, and out of bounds down near the 25-yard line, and that was Ben Harris. And I'll tell you what, this Louisville defense is a little bit on their heels right now.
Sure are. They're doing a good job of mixing up the read on the inside, play action, and coming downhill from the pistol formation. Not a complicated route concept on the outside, simply running an out by the slot and a go route by the outside receiver.
2nd down and 2. Rykowski straight ahead. He's got another Wacom Auto Group first down, and he gets inside the 25 and takes it to the 22-yard line. So Hoover with back-to-back first downs as we come up on 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Keller looks over the defense. He's got Rykowski behind him. And hands off again, Rykowski. This time Louisville says, nope, we're going to shut this down. I'm going to stand corrected. Bob Jeffries lets me know that was Nate George on the carry.
This is a zone read. You can see Johnny Keller almost falling to the ground because he's trying to pull the ball out. The running back is not allowing him to pull it out. The end ended up crashing down. If he would have let him pull it, I think Johnny would be around the end on that play.
Justin Vanover on the stop from his linebacker spot for Louisville. $1:30 to go, first quarter. 2nd down and 9 from the 21 of Louisville. Low snap. Keller throws, middle, caught. And the reception made by number 14. That's Brady Nist, a junior tight end. And the ball will be put down at the 16-yard line.
Excellent job by Keller to scoop the ball from the turf and get the ball out quickly on that hitch route.
Nice open field tackle by Sean McKinney of Louisville. So the ball is at the 16. 3rd down and 4 now for the Vikings. Rykowski back in with Keller in the backfield. Keller fakes, throws right side, has his man to the 10, and that's Sarbaugh to near the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Hoover Vikings, and a laser from Keller to Sarbaugh.
Run pass option. He can either give the ball up the middle, and again, we talked about it. It's the fade on the outside by the wide receiver and a simple 5 and out by Sarbaugh from the slot position. Gone to it 3 times already early in this game.
1st and goal. Ball is at the 5-yard line. Keller looks over the defense, trips to the near side. Rykowski behind him. Looks like he's going to let the play clock wind down. And Hoover takes a timeout. 15 seconds to go. They've marked the ball at the 6, not the 5, so it's going to be 1st and goal from the 6.
Comparing the 2 quarterbacks, Brody Hahn has obviously thrown 2 interceptions to start this ball game. John Keller taking what the defense is giving you, staying within the concepts of what they're trying to accomplish. 5 for 6, not for a lot of yards, 30 yards on the day. but key third down possessions, or third down conversion, excuse me.
Let's check in with Todd Porter on the sideline quickly before this play. Todd?
Hey guys, I don't know what you're seeing up there. From down here, though, it looks like North Canton Hoover is beating Louisville, playing Louisville football. A lot of run-pass options and a lot of quick passes right now, and that's how Hoover's getting some momentum offensively and moving the football.
I couldn't agree more, Todd. I think Hoover right now, because of the turnovers, maybe it's Louisville's a little bit walking around, sleepwalking a bit. I think Hoover's the aggressor here. First and goal at the 6. And now in the backfield, Jackson Davis to the left of Keller. Keller shoots, and it's a touchdown as he guns it over the middle. Harris with the reception, and Hoover on the board again. Ben Harris, the senior, number 7, with the reception on a laser from Keller.
It's tight. Safety over the top was a little bit late. It was just a simple 6-yard hitch route. As soon as he got just past the end zone, catch, turn, Johnny stuck his foot in the ground and got it out quickly.
Extra point attempt coming up by Sarbaugh now. Hoover out to a 9-0 lead, so Louisville is going to have to come from behind again this week. Benny to hold. Snap, kick up, and good. 11 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Our score, Hoover 10, Louisville nothing. Do not adjust your sets. It's been all Hoover here in the first quarter on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Hey, have you seen our great football website yet? You can go to WHBCSports.com and check out all the information on your favorite team. You can sign up to be a fan, plus follow our Altman Heart Center ticker scoreboard right there on your app. That's WHBCSports.com. Check out our website. Got some weekly articles from the sports guys, including myself, Dan Belford, John Bazika, Joe Palmisano, Kenny Rhoda, with the Coach's Corner on there, coaches' interviews. Fantastic high school football site. Let's take a look at that scoring drive.
The possession was capped off on a 6-yard touchdown pass from John Keller to Harris. The extra point was good, putting Hoover up 10-0. 8 plays, 47 yards, almost 3 minutes off the clock. The thing that I liked was a real good run-pass mix. The offensive line of Hoover and John Wood, Frankie Kay, Andy McDonald, Will Reisinger, Jeremy Allison, and Luke Vanis doing a great job up front, controlling the line of scrimmage, creating enough on the runs on first down to create easy play calls on second and third mediums.
Sarbaugh kicks it away, and this time Adams on the return. He's dangerous, as you know. Tyler Adams takes it out right near the 20-yard line, so not a touchback, but the same field position again.
4 straight possessions. I'll tell you what, tomorrow night in the lottery, I'm playing 20. Just got to figure out the rest of my calls. And of course, 13, which was a number that I wore. Unlucky for them, but lucky for us.
Did you always wear 13?
I did, because of Dan Marino.
Oh, there. Yeah, nice. Louisville with the ball, 5 seconds to go. They trail 10-0 here near the end of the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 20. Van Zandt straight ahead, and he'll get a couple near the 22, and that's going to mark the end of the first quarter of play. We're going to step aside, 1 quarter in the books. It's Louisville trailing Hoover 10-0 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. We'll have second quarter action when we return. Hurdler Senior Field at North Canton Memorial Stadium. At the end of 1 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard, Hoover leads Louisville 10-0. And John DeMarco on that Louisville sideline has seen his team fall behind, a pair of first quarter interceptions, and Hoover has capitalized with a field goal and a touchdown, and they lead it 10-0 as we return to action. Second down and about 9 for the Leopards at their own 21-yard line. Man in motion is Adams, and they'll fake it to him now. Thrown wide open, Hartline to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. And dragged out the 15-yard line.
What a great play call.
Touchdown saving tackle by number 15, Zach McHenry. And we're going to make that play another nominee for our Friends and Family Credit Union rock solid play of the game. 63 yards, Hahn to Hartline.
Set up by the off the zone read on the motion by Tyler Adams. As soon as he comes in motion, you got to account for him. The safeties came up. Sophomore got down the seam wide open. Brody delivered a strike.
Yes, he did. Van Zandt on the carry, and he takes inside the 15 near the 14-yard line. So Hoover's defense gives up a big play, and now they're going to have to stiffen up here a bit as Louisville in the red zone with a second down call coming up. That shows you how explosive this offense can be.
It's 48 minutes, and Louisville has shown us that they're playing all 48. It doesn't matter what happens early in the ball game. They understand what it's like already early in the season to be behind, and they're doing it again tonight.
Second down and 7. Give to Van Zandt, working that left side. Couple more as he takes it down near the 12. And you know, Jim, I know you'll agree with this. Even if you don't get big yards, you keep that defense honest. They can't sit back and just pass defend.
No, you got to have a good balance. And I love the play call again by Coach DeMarco running Tyler Adams across on the jet motion and play action passing. It's been effective run early in the game. Safety's bit up and they're down in the red zone knocking on the door. Cover 0 showing here by Hoover with some blitz.
Third down and 6. Hahn looking, tosses it out. Van Zandt has it. Van Zandt to the 10 and cuts it down near the 7-yard line. It's going to be very close. Looks like he might be about a yard short.
See him coming off the edge as I called. Brody doing a good job of seeing the blitz, getting the ball out to his hot receiver in the flat. Sets up an interesting 4th and 1. Key play early in the ball game, Dave.
Absolutely. Ball at the 7-yard line. Checking into that Louisville lineup, Corey White. They're going to bunch the formation on that right side. Van Zandt to the right of Hahn. Hahn is going to run. Hahn's got the first down and more. Touchdown, Leopards. Boy, they made that one look easy.
Sure did. Bunched up the formation on the outside. It was going to be a quarterback sweep all the way. Very, very important drive for Louisville to come back after being down 10-0. Set up by the 63-yard pass from Brody Hahn to sophomore Max Hartline.
He followed his blocking extremely well. Hahn in for the touchdown, a 7-yard run. And it's 10-6 now with 9:28 to go here in the first half. And number 33 for Louisville is the place kicker. That is Hannah Bachman. Yes, a female.
First female player in Louisville history. Watched the film last week. Had a little bit of the jitters on her first field goal attempt from 31 yards out, which was a shank. Came back and hit her next 3 extra points.
And now we got a penalty.
Now we got a penalty. He's going to test her a little bit early, especially on the road.
And I know that Todd Porter will be talking about her in just a short while.
Gotta love the fact she's rocking the braids out of the helmet, right?
Yeah. Extra point kick on its way. Kick is good.
Gutted it. Love it. Great kick. Can't rattle her.
10-7. Hoover leads Louisville with 9:28 to go here in the second quarter on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard.
You know, I watched all of Louisville's games last year, and kicking was a real problem. Good to see Hannah come out and solidify that position this early in the season for Louisville.
Jim, we want to remind our fans coming up at the end of tonight's contest, we'll bring you our Papa Gyro's Player of the Game. That player will receive a $25 gift card, courtesy of our good friends at Papa Gyro's. Last night's Player of the Game was Jameer Thomas of the Massillon Tigers. So Papa Gyro's bringing you our Player of the Game. Jim, let's take a look at that scoring drive by Louisville. Very impressive.
It was impressive. Again, started at their own 20-yard line. They ended up going 6 plays, 80 yards, chewed up about 3 minutes off the clock, capped off by a 7-yard TD run by Brody Hahn, set up again by the play from Hahn to Hartline on the 63-yard pass. Big answer for Louisville.
Bob Jeffries doing a great job with our stats here again tonight.
He's giving us more numbers than a bingo guy, man. I'm having a hard time keeping up. This is outstanding.
You're getting some lottery possibilities.
I'm telling
that. We're going to check in with Todd Porter after this kickoff. Bradley Terra, number 29, to kick it away. End over end near the sideline. Sarbaugh fields it at the 5, 10, 15. In trouble and wrapped up there back at the 15-yard line. So Hoover will start deep in their own territory with a 3-point lead. Let's go down now to Todd Porter on the sideline. Todd?
Hey, guys, you talked about Max Hartline with that big catch. He also had the big block there that sprung the quarterback on that run there. Hahn, that straight quarterback sweep, it was a block by Max Hartline that set that up. By the way, Hartline, yes, he is related to Brian Hartline as well.
All right, thanks a lot, Todd. And a first down coming up now for the Vikings. The first time they've had what I would consider bad field position all night.
Exactly, and the one drive that Hoover ended up scoring on last time from quarterback John Keller was set up by the fact that Louisville couldn't flip the field and get a first down. See if Hoover can do that here, if Louisville's defense is going to stiffen.
And Keller on the carry, and he'll pick up about 5 yards as the Louisville defense really strung that out, but Keller's still able to get some pretty good yards. There you see the fake inside to George.
And ended up coming down. Just needed a little bit better block by the slot there. It just didn't happen, and the defense did a good job of stringing it out. Corner came up and turned it back in. Still a 5-yard gain on first down. If you can get 5 yards on first down, either coach will take that all game long.
Ball is at the 21-yard line. Second down along 5. George is to the right of Keller. One receiver to the far side, 2 to the near side here. Keller gives off. George straight ahead. George crosses the 20, gets near the 25-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 4. So you're looking at a 3rd down and 2. Coming up on 8 minutes to go as you see that run by George.
Louisville just swarming to the ball. Within 2 seconds, you got all 11 jerseys around the ball carrier. They graduated a lot of really good players from last year's team. They were real senior heavy. But you know what? I'm looking through these starting lineups on both sides of the ball. 15 seniors starting on offense and defense tonight for Louisville.
Keller looks, throws, right side, caught at the 25, and then knocked down. And no gain, and a great defensive play by Cole Weston, the safety, and it'll be 4th down coming up for the Vikings, and that time Louisville's defense bringing it right into your living room.
Trying to go to the well one too many times off that run pass option up inside from the pistol position. A simple out route, safety read it very quickly, Cole Weston. See if Louisville's going to get good field position here on this play.
Sarbaugh to punt near his 10, no pressure, gets it away. A friendly bounce, and it'll be downed at about the 46-yard line. We've got a timeout. 7:12 to go here in the first half. Our score, Hoover 10, Louisville 7 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Back here at Don Hertler Senior Field. On the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard, Hoover leads Louisville 10-7. Our Health Plan TV replay game of the week. Dave Sheets, Jim Ballard, sideline reporter Todd Porter, statistician Bob Jeffries, and our image video crew here. It's 1st down and 10 after a Hoover punt. Louisville at their own 45. And on the carry, I believe that's Van Zandt?
Mm-hmm. Van Zandt on the carry.
All right. Gavin Van Zandt, a junior. And Van Zandt listed at 5'10", 206 pounds.
Big shoes to fill for Gavin Van Zandt, as a lot of these players on offense. Razul Young last year, monster year for Louisville.
Yep, outstanding for the Leopards. Stack formation on the near side. Hahn looking, he'll throw, and incomplete, intended for Hartline. Went off his hands, throw a little bit wide, so you're looking at a 3rd down and 7 call now for the Leopards.
As much as both teams throw the quick out, those corners are starting to squat. If Brody would drop his shoulder, he comes in the screen right there. If he would have dropped his shoulder and pump fake that out, the outside wide receiver is running up the sideline wide open on a fade route. Brody's still growing into the position a little bit. I mean, it's only his second start.
Yeah.
Taking over for a first-team All-State quarterback last year who was a darn good one, and Jake Adams threw for 3,000 yards and 34 touchdowns, now playing collegiate at Washington and Jefferson.
3rd down and 7. Hahn back, pressure, tries to step up, and he is going to be brought down for no gain. Nice play by Hoover's number 61, Bruce Wolf, the senior defensive lineman. So, Louisville with a 3-and-out. And again, take the sack, don't turn it over.
Live another play.
Or at least get it out of there, right?
Play the field position game. You know, they got the ball on their own 48-yard line right there. We got an opportunity to try and punt it inside the 5, maybe the 10, and pin them back deep and let their defense just fly up and make plays and keep them pinned.
Jenniden at the 10 to the 15. Jenniden at the 20, and a tremendous punt by Hahn. And Hoover will start at near the 20-yard line. Hey, the Ohio State Buckeyes open the new season coming up on Saturday at home against the Bowling Green Falcons. We'll have all the action for you on 1480 WHBC Sports. The pregame starts at 10:30. The kickoff at noon from Columbus as the Buckeyes return to take on Bowling Green.
I'm excited to watch them play this year.
I'm a big Buckeye honk.
I'm excited for the fact that there's not going to be a quarterback controversy or looking over the shoulder. Let one guy play. Let him settle in and just get reps and just gel with the offense.
Rykowski gets the handoff, and immediately Louisville all over that one. No gain. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, there's high school coaches that like playing 2 quarterbacks. Hoover did it last year with Keller, and the quarterback who graduated last year, and his name eludes me. But it's so hard to settle in, especially if you want to be the guy. You're going to try and play out of character a little bit and try and do too much, and before you know it, you're turning the ball over. It's hard to get in a rhythm.
2nd down and 10. Keller looking. He'll throw. And broken up. Pass was intended for number 6. Cord Hobart, and making the play, number 62, Jimmy Leonard, the defensive end, dropping back in coverage and knocking that one down.
Hoover needs to try and stretch the field. They're sitting, you know, at 6 and 8 yards. They're not pressing the ball down the field a little bit. Spent a lot of time with John Keller, as I've said. He can throw the ball 50, 60 yards down the field. The play calls just have to be conducive to that. Louisville just squatting on Hoover's receiver.
3rd down and 10. Here comes pressure. There's the ball in the air, wide open. Jenniden, he's got it. Jenniden, 30, 20, 10. Adams trying to catch him, but he won't. Touchdown. Jim Ballard, go play that lottery. You're on fire.
I'm telling you, it was there. Louisville safety's playing a little bit tight, just daring them to get over the top. Didn't think they'd have the speed to get over Tyler Adams. Just a dime from number 16, John Keller. Good job stepping up in the pocket. Post route deep down the middle. A little bit of pressure behind him. Nice and tight.
Jim, we got
picture, put it on the wall.
We got to make that another Friends and Family Credit Union Rock Solid Play of the Game nominee. And that's got to be the front runner, the leading vote getter so far. The Friends and Family Credit Union Rock Solid Play of the Game. We'll bring it to you near the end of tonight's contest. A bomb from Keller to Jenniden. And the extra point is up, and it is good by Sarbaugh. And our score is Hoover 17, Louisville 7, with 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Timeout on the Infinity Medical Center scoreboard. Hoover leads by 10.
You'll be the winner of some gift certificates, and we'll be announcing those coming up shortly.
Hoover leading Louisville 17-7. And ready to kick off is Sarbaugh for the Vikings. Again, Adams and Hartline back. Almost said Matty. Well, how about that scoring drive, Jim?
You blink, you miss it. 3 plays, 80 yards. Didn't do much on the first 2 with the run. Forget about it. Let's go deep. Let's chuck the post. 80-yard touchdown pass from Keller to Jenitin.
That is a live football, and it's recovered by Ben Harris. And a critical mistake by Louisville. All of the kicks up to that point, Sarbaugh had put into the end zone. This one, for whatever reason, either planned or by accident, was short, and Louisville did not cover it. And Harris, streaking down there, dove on the football. A huge play with 4:57 to go in the half.
Dave, I just dropped my head. I wasn't even done with the last scoring drive.
Telling you.
I blinked and I missed another play. Turnover, another turnover created by Hoover. Third turnover of the game for Louisville, knocking on the door. One of the turnovers has already led to 3 points. With the kicker, with Sarbaugh, this is almost a guaranteed 3 points at least.
George to the left of Keller. And the fake. Keller under pressure. Rolling, looks, throws middle, and picked off. Tyler Adams with the interception to the 20 and out near the 25-yard line. And now a flag comes in late as well. And I think it was maybe a late hit on Louisville as somebody, I think, popped Keller on that return. Let's go down to Todd Porter on the sideline quickly while we straighten it out. Todd?
Guys, that is exactly what Louisville needed. This sideline over here behind me, absolutely dead until that play. They need to wake up over here, need some energy, and they need to find a way to get the ball into Tyler Adams' hands a little bit more. Right now, Hoover just gave him one.
Got a block in the back, not a personal foul, block in the back. So that will knock off a bit of yardage on that return, the interception by Adams. And the ball goes back to the 15-yard line, so it's 1st and 10. And
just trying to do too much. I mean, I've spent so much time with him. I'm ready to run down on the field and put my foot in his butt. I love the kid to death. You can't throw an interception, number one, inside the red zone. Number two, you never roll left and try and throw back across the field to the right. Number three, you're up 17-7 at home with all the momentum in the world. Johnny, we got to talk about that one. I'm not sure what you saw, but I know you're going to rebound.
The pass from Hahn, catch is made.
Passes to number 13, Jared Maddie.
The reception made by Jared Maddie, a sophomore for Louisville. And Jim, there's a name that is synonymous with Louisville football.
That
The
name's
Maddie
been
family.
around since Nam. The grandfather, Ed, is a phenomenal guy. Spent time with him, huge Mount Union fan, been around the program a long time. Actually has one of the best sports memorabilia bars I've ever seen in his basement. Unbelievable guy, great family, a lot of playmakers. And Matthew actually is a quarterback, but he's so athletic, you got to get him on the field.
2nd down and 8. The 2-yard play. Hahn throws right side, catch is made. Adams has it, slips a tackle, still fighting for yardage. How about that effort as he gets near the 24 and very close to a 1st down. Depending on the spot, we'll see.
You're not going to tackle Tyler Adams high and bring him down. Standing next to him on the field, 6 foot maybe, but a legit 205 pounds. He is thick and he is strong, and he's put on about 15 or 20 pounds of muscle since last season.
3rd down and 1. Louisville has all 3 timeouts. Hoover has 2 as we get down near 3 minutes to go in our first half. Van Zant to the left of the quarterback, Hahn. Trips to the near side. 3rd and 1. Hahn, quick toss. Bounces it to Adams. And now it's going to be 4th down and a yard. And I'm sure that Brody Hahn would like to have that one back.
Sure would.
Got a punt here, don't you? You can't take a chance, can you? Here comes the punt.
I don't know. You can't. I'm an offensive guy and a quarterback. Of course, I want to go for it.
You want to go for it.
But you can't. Tough throw. Well, it's one-on-one coverage, and anytime you have that situation with Tyler Adams, there's a run-pass option. He's trying to get it to him in his hands in space. If he would have caught that or hit him in the chest, there's no way the defender from Hoover was going to bring him down one-on-one in space. See if Louisville fakes it here.
Hahn, he'll kick it away. Floater, way in the air, and it will bounce out of bounds. I have got to be what's the word I'm looking for? Not stupid.
Most forgetful.
Most forgetful. I'm sitting here thinking, man, the lighting here tonight is really bad. And this takes a man to admit this, doesn't it? What's going on? I had my sunglasses on still. Oh, my goodness.
And also, the sun did go behind the home stands, which kind of dims it in the booth.
About 20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, I'm a lot cooler, though.
Oh,
that
yeah.
sun beating down.
Boy, the lights here work great. First down, and whistles stop the play.
Hands off to George, but the play stopped.
We've got a timeout taken by Louisville. That stops the clock. 2:53 to go here in the first half. And Hoover has the football at the Louisville 48, 1st and 10, and they'll go back into play here after this timeout. Hey, stay with us. Coming up at halftime, it's the Great Lakes Best One Tire and Service halftime show. Todd Porter will bring you the best of both of these bands here tonight, Louisville and Hoover. And that's coming up, brought to you by Great Lakes Best One Tire and Service. Well, Jim, this is a big series coming up for both these teams.
This is a huge series, especially for Louisville. If Hoover's able to manufacture some points on this drive, let's not forget, they deferred the coin toss to start the first, to start the beginning of the ball game. They get the ball to start the second half. So if they go down and put points on the board, they go in with a lot of momentum, then they get the ball to start the second half.
Keller keeps straight ahead. Running room. Keller inside the 40. Keller down near the 35. He's got a Wacom Auto Group first down for the Vikings. Big run.
Short-term memory. If I'm going to make a mistake with my arm, I'm going to come back and I'm going to hurt you with my legs. Saw Johnny a lot over the summer. Talked to a lot of college scouts. Saw Bill Green from Scout.com last night. Really high on John. John's a low 4.7 guy. In my opinion, should have some MAC offers coming relatively soon. Can do it all with his legs, can do it with his arm.
First down and 10 at the Louisville 36. A big drive for both these teams as Hoover already has a 10-point lead and trying for more. George looking for some running room. George inside the 35 down near the 33-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of about 4 yards. Down to 2:10 here in the first half. Clock running. Again, Hoover has 2 timeouts. Louisville 2 timeouts. At the 33-yard line, 2nd down and 7. Clock continues to roll. Let's check in with Todd Porter. What do you have, Todd?
Guys, listen, there's a significant win behind Hoover's backs right now. I don't think they're real concerned about scoring a touchdown. Eric Sarbaugh can kick a field goal in about another 5-6 yards here.
Nice move by George. Look out. 10, 5, touchdown. Wow.
What a great run.
33 yards. He stepped inside and then cut it outside and went down that Hoover sideline for the score. How about that? The Vikings lead big now, 23-7. What a great move to the outside.
A phenomenal block outside by the wide receiver. I couldn't grab a number right there on the screen, but that was the key block. Anytime a running back is running into the second levels and springs it forward for a 20 to 30-yard gain, it's because of what the wide receivers are doing at the the outside. And all blocking is outside wide receivers is heart and effort.
And a shot there of the Hoover student section out in droves tonight. High snap, brought down, extra point up, and good. And what a weapon Eric Sarbaugh is as well for these Hoover Vikings with his leg. So now it is 24-7 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Louisville trails by 17 late here in the second quarter. If you're a Vikings fan, you are loving this so far. Wow.
I wasn't sure what to expect. I was talking to some people before the game. I mean, it's kind of like, well, you know, we got to play well. Who's going to come out tonight? Not sure about Hoover. You know, second-year head coach. Each team had a good week of practice. I was talking to Coach DeMarco before the game. They haven't won here since 2008.
How about that drive there for the Vikings?
Not a Pac-Man again of the clock. 3 plays, 48 yards, 1:19. 33-yard touchdown scamper by George. Extra point, good by Sarbaugh. 24. Home team, Hoover. Louisville 7.
Jim, we are not going to be short at all as far as choices for our rock-solid play of the game. We've had some big-time highlights here in the first half. Wow. Can't wait for the second half. Sarbaugh kicks it deep. And it'll be
He's not wearing long pants.
on the return, Hartline.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yep.
And he'll take it out near the 25-yard line. So Louisville, 2 timeouts, 1.5 minutes to go.
You know, they turned it over 3 times in the first half. Not sure if DeMarco's going to put the pedal down on the gas. We watched it last night when Glennock was trying to get some points on the board, and what happened was quarterback ended up getting hurt, breaking his clavicle right before half, if you remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that'll be on his mind, but maybe a little bit conservative right now, being down 24-7 and turning the ball over with a couple interceptions.
I don't think so.
Again,
I think he's going to air it out.
I do too.
But you're right. I can see your point. Here, Hahn to throw. Throws. Caught. And Hartline, boy, I'll tell you what, in between 3 defenders, and Jim is up here thinking, oh my gosh.
I just exhaled. If that would have got picked, and it was a tight window.
Look at this.
Right in between 2 defenders. I'm real impressed with Max Hartline.
And there was a 3rd defender underneath. Yeah, that's a sophomore making that grab.
The thing that I like, Brody Hahn is unaffected by the 2 interceptions early in the game, just like he was last week. You know he was going to game. Short-term memories, throwing the ball into tight windows again, looking to get some points. Nice catch.
Adams with the reception near midfield, and he goes out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. Adams just got turned around. The ball was on him.
I think it's stuck in his armpit. What an unbelievable throw. He snapped around on the comeback, one-handed catch with his left arm. And you know what? As impressive as Tyler Adams is on the field, I mean, he's a leader. He's worked hard in the offseason, putting that 20 pounds on. He's got an offer from Harvard. So he's really getting it done in the classroom.
At the 46, Hahn going to roll right, protected by Van Zandt. He'll throw on the run and broken up down at the 30-yard line. Pass was intended for number 23, Max Hartline.
Indicated for number
Running the
23,
flood concept, sprinting Brody Hahn out, trips to the field. What you have is you got a 5-yard out, a 12-yard out right there, and a go route on the outside. As we talked about, those corners are getting awful nosy coming up, making plays in the second level throws. If they would pump fake that, I'm telling you, the wide receiver down the sideline is still running.
2nd down and 10, under a minute to go, first half. Again, Louisville with those 2 timeouts in their back pocket. Catches made by Adams. Sarbaugh has him wrapped up, and he'll drop him back at the 49-yard line. That'll be a 3-yard loss. Clock rolling. Louisville not ready to call a timeout yet. There's Brian Baum in his 2nd season at Hoover.
Impressive open field tackle one-on-one by Sarbaugh.
Yeah, you're not going to bring Adams down very easily, are you?
No, I said it earlier. There wasn't going to be anybody bring him down to space. And what a great job he did.
3rd down and 13. Hahn in the air, down the field. He's got Adams. Touchdown. And just like that, 49 yards as Adams got behind the defense and Hahn delivered.
What a great throw by Brody Hahn. Little chippy after the play. Good job by Brody of just staying in the pocket and setting his feet. You know, that was one thing he struggled with a little bit last week. He's a 3-sport athlete. No wonder Tyler Adams was a little hot after that. Kid came over and got right in his beak, number 10.
Yeah. And I don't know, was there a flag thrown?
I thought there was. But to finish what I was saying, Brody was a little bit nervous last week. I think he started that way again tonight, just getting out of the pocket a little bit too fast, just not settling in and just kind of sliding and moving a little bit up in the pocket. Great job on that play. Really good job of answering the bell right before the half. What a huge play. Big touchdown pass with 18 seconds left. Again, how do you let Tyler Adams get behind you? They brought the blitz thinking that they'd get to him before he's able to get the ball out.
Okay, as we get set for this extra point. Todd, can you give us an explanation there?
Yeah, listen, Nick Binney and Tyler Adams, they've been going at it the entire night. And it looked like the second guy was the offender there, and they caught him, and John DeMarco wanted an explanation from the official, and he did not like it.
Extra point up by Bachman is good. And it's now 24-14 with 18 seconds to go here in the first half. And if Louisville ever needed to score, they got it right there.
Big play. We talk about it every game, Dave. 6 or 7 plays going to decide the outcome of the ball game, and that could be one of them. Tremendous answer from Brody Hahn. That drive covered 5 plays and 74 yards, a minute and 18 off the clock. 49-yard touchdown pass from Brody Hahn to Tyler Adams. The extra point was good. 24-14 with 18 seconds left.
And I'll tell you what, from the quarterback spot, you're almost like a closer in baseball. If you blow a save, you got to go right back out there the next time you're on the mound and respond. And these two quarterbacks, they've had rough first halves, but boy, they have made also some big plays.
You know, one thing I try and instill in all my guys is it's not the last play. It's the next play. And these guys are in offenses where if you do make a bad play or you do turn the ball over, there's going to be plenty of opportunities down the line to make up for it and to make other plays. At times, these guys are so competitive and they're ultra athletic to where they try and do too much. And instead of just simply taking what the defense is giving them, we saw that early from Hahn. Yeah. We saw the turnover in the end zone by Keller. But again, both of them settling down and throwing some really good balls this first half. Fun quarterback matchup as we talked about. Brody Hahn right now, 11 for 17, 166 yards, 1 touchdown in the air, 1 on the ground, 2 interceptions. John Keller sitting about 9 for 11 for about 127 yards and 1 touchdown, and also 1 interception.
Eric Sarbaugh with a nice return for the Vikings as he takes it out to the 45-yard line. So we've got 12 seconds to go in the half. Hoover does still have 2 turnovers. Well, I don't know. I was going to say I might take a knee here, but with Keller at quarterback, anything goes.
If John drops back, he could probably get it to the end zone from the 40. I'm saying he's about 60 strong, what I've seen in his workouts, 55 for sure. If he's got wind behind him, he's going to be able to throw it in the end zone for sure. But there's 12 seconds left. You've got at least 2 plays to where you can get the ball to the 50 or the 45.
Oh, there was some confusion there. I think Keller was looking for the running back to come off his right hip, and he came off the left side. Nobody to hand the ball off to. So a couple of yard loss, and that's going to run out to half. Takes away all the suspense there as you see it. Yep. George came around his left hip, and Keller was looking for him on the right. So that's the end of the first half. What a ball game, and John DeMarco is on the field getting an explanation still from the officials. We go to halftime on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Hoover over Louisville, 24-14. Stay with us. Our halftime show, hosted by Todd Porter, coming up next.
We call it the Wake-'em.
Don Hertler Senior Field, North Canton Memorial Stadium. Halftime, Hoover leads Louisville 24-14 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. And before we start the second half, let's take a look at those halftime stats. And here's Jim Ballard.
Well, as you can see on your screen, it's pretty even across the board. 60 yards rushing for Louisville to Hoover's 78. Brody Hahn, 11 for 17 for 166 yards. Johnny Keller, 8 for 11, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns. 7 first downs apiece. The key statistic on that board, 3 turnovers for Louisville, which led to 10 Hoover points, 1 turnover by Hoover. A pretty clean game played by both teams as far as laundry being on the carpet. Only 1 penalty, which was the personal foul penalty called on Tyler Adams after the touchdown. 1 penalty, 15 yards.
All right, those are your halftime stats. 24-14. Hoover leads this ball game. Both teams with road wins a week ago. 1-0 coming into tonight's action. Our Health Plan TV replay game of the week. Dave Sheets, Jim Ballard, Todd Porter on the sidelines. Bob Jeffries, our statistician here tonight. And it'll be Tara to kick off for Louisville. Hoover won the toss, but they deferred, and they'll get the opening kickoff here in the second half. It'll be Sarbaugh at the 14 to the 20. Ball comes loose. Louisville's going to fall on it at the 40-yard line. And an opening turnover on the kickoff return in the second half. And falling on it for Louisville, number 25.
Number 25.
Check that. Corey White, number 25. Look at this. Somebody just poked it away.
It's kind of hard to see once he broke out of that pack. If somebody pulled it out or the ball just slipped out of his hands. Either way, the absolute wrong way you want to start the half if you're Hoover.
Sure.
Flip the script. This kind of looked like Louisville the first possession in the first half, and Hoover turning the ball over on the kickoff in the second half, giving Louisville great field position at the 40-yard line.
And it's going to be Hahn straight ahead with the keeper. Brody Hahn pushes inside the 40 down near the 38-yard line. Good for about 3 yards.
4 or 5 yards.
Brody was a leading rusher for Louisville in the first half with 5 rushes for 16 yards to go along with his 116 yards passing. He also had a touchdown run on the big fourth down quarterback sweep in the right corner of the end zone.
Well, we'll see if the Leopards can take advantage of the turnovers. We've had a few now. Hoover with 3, or I should say Louisville has 3 turnovers. Now Hoover with 2. Hahn back, looks right, pumps, gonna go deep. Looks like Adams is out there, he's got it! Touchdown!
Wow,
that was not Adams.
What a throw. It was exactly what we talked about in the first half, Dave. The inside receiver running the 5-yard out, corner peeking in just a little bit. Brody, high, early chance, perfect throw, outstanding execution, a big play to start the second half.
That
Boom,
was number 14.
Drops the shoulder.
Yep.
Great job by the receiver saving the box, which is that 3 to 4 yards from the sideline. That was actually number 14.
Yep, that was Jack Davis.
Jack Davis. I believe that was his first catch. Jack is a kid who comes to the films every weekend with these Louisville receivers and quarterback Brody Hahn. Great kid. He was a former quarterback.
Right.
Was splitting some time with Trent Degenhard, made the transition into wide receiver full time this summer. First year starter, first catch of the season. Tremendous throw and catch. Confidence builder for Jack moving along into this game.
And Bachman with the extra point up and good. And all of a sudden, just like that, it's Hoover 24, Louisville 21. And we go down on the field now and check in with Todd Porter now. Todd?
Guys, that was an awful start for North Canton Hoover to this second half. But this jersey right here is Zach Herrera's jersey. And Mike Gallagher is his best friend on the team. Mike Gallagher is in charge of this jersey the rest of the season. This jersey will stay on their sideline. They have it draped right now. They will have it draped all game long over a bench for good luck for them.
All right, thanks a lot, Todd. We appreciate that. So we'll have a little deja vu with Louisville kicking off again, but this time they're 7 points closer on the scoreboard after that long pass play from Hahn to Davis.
Set up by the turnover. 7 points now for Louisville off a turnover. Love the aggressive play call. And if you're a defense, you know that as soon as there's a big play, you got to be ready for the big play over the top for either a post or a fade or something to try and flip that momentum back into Louisville's favor. Tremendous throw and catch from Hahn to Davis.
Terra to kick it away once again. Sarbaugh, Nicholson are back deep. We'll check the scoring drive in a moment. Sarbaugh again at the 7 to the 20. And he is popped as he gets it out near the 27-yard line. Tackle made by Justin Vanover, number 47. Let's check that Louisville scoring drive.
It was quick, 3 plays, 41 yards, 38-yard touchdown pass from Hahn to Davis. Extra point was good. 24-21 Hoover, with Louisville having all the momentum in the second half.
And we are going to have a heck of a time bringing you our rock-solid play of the game. We'll talk more here in the second half about that, but we're going to pick one key play, and there have been about a dozen here so far as we're just getting started in the third. Catch is made, and Louisville's defense is all over it. Reception by Ben Harris, but he's going to lose some yardage, I think, as Louisville smelled it out defensively. Lost about a yard. Naw with the tackle. Had a lot of help, though.
Bubble screen. Good job by the corner and the inside linebacker staying home on that, forcing the corner, forcing back inside to let the linebacker just clean that up.
Second down and 11. George to the right of Keller. 2 receivers to each side. Keller now looks sideline.
Louisville showing blitz off both sides. Now they're walking out.
Keller, quarterback draw, and nowhere to go. And defensively, that was Jimmy Leonard who made the hit for the Leopards. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and long play for Hoover.
Louisville's defense is not big up front. They play a 4-2-5. They're 205 and Zerzbak, 210 Decker, 225 Dershik, and 189 by Jimmy Leonard. What they do is they play 4 defensive line. They play 2 linebackers, taking a bigger play out of the game and putting them in the secondary, kind of like that school down 62 a little bit, Mount Union. Mount Union plays the 4-2, trying to get downhill with speed.
3rd and 9, back, screen. George has it, open field, 25, flag on the play. George is going to get near that 1st down marker, but there's a flag back near the 20-yard line. So we'll wait and see. We might have a hold against the Vikings. Let's see. Yep, holding penalty going to go against Hoover. So it's going to come back. Good call, but unfortunately, somebody got flagged for holding. That's the first penalty against Hoover in the ball game.
And it's a key penalty.
Yeah.
Couldn't come at a worse time. After a turnover, big play by Louisville. They're already backed up. Now they're 3rd in Stark County.
Yeah, and
from about their own 16-yard line.
And I think that would have been a 1st down.
It was close.
Yeah.
It was really close.
So now you're looking at 3rd down and 24.
If you're Louisville, you just play soft cover 4, which is quarters coverage, dropping the corners, dropping the safeties back, making them throw the ball in front of you or keep the ball in front of them with the run, force the punt team to come on. And
yeah, Harris on the run, and he has nowhere to go as Louisville's defense has a big series, and it'll be a punt situation now for Hoover.
That beehive is wide open. These Louisville defenders are everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at all the white jerseys in there.
Yeah.
They just continually to swarm to the ball.
Justin Vanover leading the charge that time. Sarbaugh a punt near his end zone on 4th and 23. And he'll boot it away. A short kick takes a Hoover roll. And I think Hoover is saying that it touched a Louisville player, but the officials say no. So it'll be down at the 46. We've got a timeout. 8:35 to go here in the 3rd. Louisville back in it, trailing 24-21 to Hoover on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard.
Studios. Details at WHBCSports.com.
At Hoover on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard, where the Vikings lead has been cut to 3. Louisville trailing 24-21, but the Leopards have the football back, and they'll start this drive in Hoover territory. Brody Hahn on the night, kind of a mixed bag.
12 for 18, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. But let's talk about the fact that he threw the 2 interceptions early. He's still playing nervous in the first quarter, but man, he's like a duck with rain coming down on his back. It just washes right off, doesn't remember anything that happens before that. He's playing outstanding. He's hurting him with his legs, and he's throwing the ball extremely well.
And he's going to keep it around that right side, puts his head down and charges down near the 40-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 6 yards on 1st down, and any offensive coordinator will take that. Had a wall of blockers helping him turn the corner there.
Kid's such a gamer. I mean, he just unfazed by the fact that this is a second start. Again, another road game for Louisville, which is always tough to start out.
Yeah.
You play a playoff team in Canfield to start every single year. Come back from a 19-7 deficit in the 4th quarter to win. So now you got this big emotional win coming into week 2. Started maybe a little flat, didn't play too well. Now they got it rolling in the second half here at North Canton Hoover.
And Hahn gets ahead for a couple of yards. Next week, Louisville has a real challenge.
Austintown Fitch is athletic. Watched them play. Watched the film last year with quarterback Jake Adams, where they created 3 turnovers. Jake didn't play his best game. Austintown Fitch is fast, quick, athletic on defense. We just got to take care of business tonight, is what Louisville's thinking. We'll worry about that home opener next week. Just got to escape out of Hoover with a win, one way or another.
3rd down and 2 now, as the Louisville faithful in front of us making some noise at the 38.
Quarterback sweep to the right.
You called it. Hahn tries to get outside. He's slowed down. He's knocked down. No gain. No gain as Hoover strung it out. And I believe that was Seth Graham who came up and made the hit, number 22. And he's slow to get up over there. You can see he's having some trouble putting some weight on that left leg. So now it's 4th down and 2, and Louisville showing all signs are going to go for it here. Now remember, Hahn is also the punter. You could see a quick kick here, but I doubt it.
Absolutely not.
Same formation. Oh, whistles. They hand it off that time.
Timeout to think about it?
Maybe. Hoover's defense wanted some time to think about it. Stops the clock. 7:03 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Hoover leading 24-21.
Once again, a reminder.
Well, we want to remind you that coming up at the end of tonight's ball game, we'll have our Jersey's All-American Sports Grill wrap-up report. Stay with us for that. We'll have all the final numbers. We'll also hopefully be hearing from the winning coach here tonight. It's all part of the Jersey's All-American Sports Grill wrap-up report here on our Health Plan TV replay game of the week. Glad to be with you. We had a thriller last night at Glen Oak, which saw Massillon come back and beat the Golden Eagles. Tonight, great ball game. Next Friday night, we'll go back to Massillon. We'll see the Tigers at home, their first home game in the first 3 weeks. They'll come home to take on Warren Harding. That should be a doozy.
It's going to be fast. Warren Harding, it brings all kinds of athletes. Their quarterback is a special player. Multiple Division I offers. They won't bring him. They won't bring him in as a quarterback, but they're recruiting him as an athlete. He can play wide receiver, defensive back, punt returner, kick returner. He's just electric.
4th down and 2 at the Hoover 38. And now, timeout taken by Louisville.
Little cat and mouse.
Yeah.
Maybe look that Coach DeMarco didn't like.
All right. While we have a moment, let's go down on the sideline. Todd Porter is there. Todd?
Well, it's interesting, guys. I'm real close to the Louisville coaches over here. A little bit of some gamesmanship going on, some strategy going on here. I don't think they like the defensive front that Hoover came out in versus the play call that they had. So it'll be interesting to see what Louisville comes out in here.
All right, thanks, Todd. As you see the Louisville defense around the defensive coaches.
Brian Dyack.
You know, we saw it last night with Massillon head coach Coach Moore taking some key timeouts in some of these 4th and short opportunities. Didn't like exactly what he got, so he regrouped his team, and each time that he did call a timeout, they were successful running that 4th down play. Let's see if this holds true for Coach DeMarco in Louisville.
4th down and 2 again at the 38-yard line of Hoover. Louisville trailing by 3. Again, a bunch formation to the right. Van Zant to the right of Hahn. Adams all alone on the near side. Handoff, same play, Van Zant. And he is not going to make it. He's going to be about a yard short, I think, as they'll mark it at the 36. I believe he had to get to the 35. Well, Jim, you're saying he got it? It's awful close.
It's going to be awful close.
Okay. I think we're going to measure, huh? Okay. I was thinking he had to get to the 35, but it was actually closer to the 36.
Good kick out by number 67. Lotzenheiser, 5'10", 215 senior.
So we're going to bring the chains in from this near side. All right, Todd Porter, you have a better view of this than we do. What's your call?
I'm going to say that this is going to be a tie, and it's going to be real close, because based on where I thought they had to get to the end of the 36-yard line.
Tip of the ball.
He got it. He got it.
First down, Louisville.
And, of course, that makes the Louisville fans in front of us excited. First down, just enough. And the Leopards keep the drive alive, and they are right up ready for another play. Another Wacom Auto Group first down as Louisville continues this drive at the 36 of Hoover. Gavin Van Zant tonight.
10 carries, 19 yards. Tough sledding against that North Canton Hoover defense.
Hahn back, looking, He's looking for Adams in the corner. Jennington is there and broken up as Adams nearly hauled it in. And that's been a heck of a battle there in the secondary. Sarbaugh was back there. Jennington comes up a little bit gimpy.
Long throw, right middle.
He's limping a bit.
Looks like Brody missed just a little bit to the inside. I think if he pushes that ball to the sideline a little bit, I think Tyler comes up with it. But I like the play call. It's first down after they just got a big first down on a fourth down conversion. Love the fact that they're taking more shots deep down the field against this Hoover defense.
And when you have a talent like Tyler Adams, you're going to try to give him the football in every instant you can.
Any way you can get it to him. Deep, jet sweeps, short, screen stuff, anything you can.
Hahn turns the corner. He has good running room, and he gets it down to near the 29-yard line. So that's about 7 more yards for Brody Hahn.
Doing it with his legs, just reading the block at number 67. 75, doing a great job kicking out there was Max Marino, 5'11", 235 pounds. You know, we talked about it again. This team from Louisville from last year went deep into the playoffs and lost a 21-14 close ball game against Hoover, which they honestly should have won.
Yeah.
If the defensive player from Louisville picks the ball off on that 3rd and 7 play, they end up picking it off going down. They end up scoring. The next play, Danny Clark ends up picking up a first down, and they end up scoring. A lot of seniors back on this Louisville team.
Hahn straight ahead on a 3rd and 2 and, well, closer to the 3rd and 3. And he's going to be short, but again, you're looking at 4 down territory. So 4th down and 1. Very similar to a situation a few moments ago. Van Zant with Hahn. He goes up under center. He's going to go straight ahead.
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, well,
look at the second
surge.
push.
Look at that push by the Leopards line.
I'll tell you what the big push, Dave, was. It was the Van Zant Hahn carry on that play. Van Zant just buried his head right in the middle of Brody. His head right in the middle of his back right there.
Yeah.
Just getting that little push, keeping those legs driving. Just a big nudge, a big first down. Great second effort by Brody Hahn and the big offensive lineman up front.
You hit it on the head there. Van Zant giving him a little push. Wakeham Auto Group first down for Louisville. And with coming up on 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, the march continues for the Leopards. This has been a long drive. Time consuming as well.
I think if they score on this drive, this will be the longest drive with all the others combined. And it's still going to be longer than the other ones they scored on.
And flag flies from the far side. We've got movement by Louisville, so that's going to cost them 5 yards. False start against the Leopards. They'll push it back 5 yards.
Only the 3rd penalty of the game. Very clean, which is kind of surprising early in the season because you kind of get a little chippy.
Yep.
Guys losing their head a little bit. Offensive linemen getting those big paws outside the shoulder pads a little bit, grabbing and pulling a little bit when they shouldn't be.
1st and 15 from the 30. Hahn back, looks, goes to the end zone, ball in the air and over the head of everybody. It was for Adams, the intended receiver, but Jennington actually was in better position that time. We have a flag down back at the 33-yard line. And, well, we'll see. You know, that's what happens, though. You start talking about, oh, we've only had a couple of flags, and then all of a sudden, the floodgates
open. Not sure what this penalty is. The guy in the neutral zone, or?
Oh, they're going to wave it off.
It's a mulligan. My bad. Teed up. Love the fact that Louisville's pushing the ball more vertical down the field. However, when you're throwing the ball down the field, especially when you got a wide receiver like Tyler Adams, you just don't want to overthrow the ball. If it's one-on-one, just throw it high, get it up early, and give him a chance to make a play. Worst case scenario, throw a jump ball. He's athletic. He's a first-team All-State kid last year. Let him make a play.
Hahn back, rolling. He's going to feel the pressure. Ball thrown out of bounds. Davis was the closest receiver for Louisville down inside the 5-yard line. And Hahn throwing it away. 3rd down, 15 coming up now. Good coverage in the secondary this time.
Yes, it was. Brody doing a good job of just not trying to do too much like he did earlier in the first half. Realizing, you know what, I've got third down and I probably got fourth down. Let's just throw the ball out of bounds. Let's regroup, get a good play call here, and go back to the drawing board.
Good pressure by defensive lineman Ben Hayden that time, number 32, forcing Hahn to maybe get rid of it a little sooner than he wanted. Third down and 15 from the 30. Hahn, quarterback draw, straight ahead. Hahn breaks a tackle. Hahn down inside the 25 and down near the 21-yard line. So you're looking at a fourth down now, and we'll call it 6.
No hesitation for Louisville. I do not think they're going to bring I don't think they're going to bring Hannah Boffman in for this one.
No.
Pigtails and all, I think they're going to roll the dice with Brody Hahn and Tyler Adams on offense.
Fourth down and 6 to go. At the Hoover 21, Hahn back, being chased, throws to the end zone. Davis is there. He caught it, and there's a flag. They'll, of course, wave that off. Jack Davis, unless it's an offensive pass interference. Let's see.
However, there are flags down. Number 14, Jack Davis.
There was a flag dropped in the end zone.
A lot of people
Davis
holding their breath
off?
right now.
Oh, I think they're going to call offensive pass interference. Yep. So take the touchdown off the board.
Let's see the replay on that. I'm not sure. It was kind of hard to see from up here in the booth, but it looked pretty clean. If those hands get extended when we see this replay, I'll believe it.
Well, first of all, we'll see if we can even see it here.
I don't know.
Let's go down to Todd Porter. He may have had a better look. Todd?
Guys, to me it looked like a little bit of offensive and defensive pass interference there. I wouldn't have thrown the flag there. However, Brody Hahn is extremely lucky he didn't get a personal foul, an unsportsmanlike penalty there. He was a little bit chippy with the head official after the call.
Thank you, Todd. So the penalty will take the touchdown off the board and move the ball back now to the 35-yard line. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to step aside. 3:36 to go here in the third. It's Hoover 24, Louisville 21 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Hoover leading 24-21 over Louisville on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. And after an offensive pass interference call, Louisville is now deciding that they're going to punt the ball, or at least that's what they're showing, with Hahn to boot inside of midfield. Nobody back for Hoover. Hahn going to try to coffin kick it here.
Looks like a beauty.
Oh, he did. He nailed it. And they're going to mark that out at about the 5-yard line. So Brody Hahn using his right leg that time as a weapon, and Hoover is going to be backed up.
Speaking of his legs, Hahn's chipping in with 12 carries for 45 yards, leading that Louisville offense on the ground with 1 touchdown. If nothing else right now, if you're Hoover, they haven't really had the ball, number one, in the second half due to the quick turnover with the opening kickoff. But you've got to flip the field. You've got to at least get a couple downs or first downs here to at least a 35-yard line. So when you punt, you change the field. They've been playing this second half in their own end zone, creating a lot of opportunities for Louisville, giving them a short field and 4-down territory with a tremendous offense.
But because you're so backed up, doesn't that limit your play calling as well here? As far as you got to play it a little safe, don't you?
Yeah, maybe. But John's an experienced quarterback. He's got a good head on his shoulders. One thing you need to do right here is if Hoover's offense is hard count, try and get that Louisville defense to jump off sides.
It's going to be George on the carry. George stacked up for what appears to be maybe a 1-yard gain. And boy, if you're Hoover, tough spot.
Number 26, Luke Rakowski.
That actually was Rakowski on the carry.
Stopped by number 88, Drew Dorshuk.
Couple of tacklers there for Louisville, led by Drew Dorshuk.
Second down and 9 for Hoover.
Second down and 9. Keller going to keep it this time. Going to try to left side. Turns the corner. Keller out of bounds. Good run.
Keller keeps it. Driven out of bounds.
And he advances the ball up to about the 13.
Little wham block coming across by number 1 for Hoover. It's a give or a pull by Keller. He liked the fact that he could pull it. The thing that I really like on that play was once he got what he could get, he got out of bounds, didn't take any unnecessary shots to the body. That really will help you play not just 10 games during the regular season, but 12 and 13 when you can make the playoffs. You got to avoid hits, and it was a good job by him getting out of bounds.
Another big play, 3rd down and 4. Hoover at their own 13-yard line. High snap, Keller looks, ball in the air. It's caught and falling down at the 25-yard line. Reception made by Alex Nicholson, and Hoover gets a big first down brought to you by the Wacom Auto Group. Nice route here, nice throw.
Play action pass. Taking a page out of Louisville's playbook. The wide receiver got behind the corner. That corner came up again on that little 5-yard out that Hoover's been running so much in the first half. John did a good job of seeing that they squatted on it, threw it over the top with a hole shot, got a little bit of breathing room, need a couple more first downs to keep this drive going.
Ball is at the 26. Rakowski straight ahead. And maybe a yard.
Handoff to number 26, Luke Rakowski.
Going to mark it near the 27-yard line. And a very fast-moving 3rd quarter. After we make the snap on this, we'll be under 2 minutes to go.
Number 22, Casey Naw.
Louisville trailing by 3. Coming in 1-0. Hoover 1-0. John Keller tonight.
Brings up 2nd down and
Jim?
9 for 13, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, which would have been at least 3 points on the board.
Give to Rakowski, breaks a tackle and then dragged down. A gain of maybe a yard. And now you're looking at 3rd down and 7. Minute and a half to go, 3rd quarter. Clock continues to roll. And good look at that Louisville defense looking to the sideline for the call. 22, Casey now in the middle there, senior linebacker. There's Dorshik. 3rd down and 7 at the 28. Trips right. Keller back, looking right. Going to step out of it, throws. Catch is made. And Louisville all over it. No gain. He maybe lost a yard. Ben Harris with the reception, but he absolutely had nowhere to go.
Good job by the defense of just flying, letting them catch the ball short and just rallying up to the ball. Nice pressure up front by number 22.
It's Casey now.
Casey now. Short throw, forcing a punt by Hoover. The thing that I don't like what's going on in the second half for Hoover is they're just not having a lot on first down, which is creating a lot of second and a lot of third and long situations.
Nice open field tackle by Gavin Barone that time for Louisville. Kicked by Sarbaugh, going to dribble out of bounds. And again, Louisville has great field position at about their own 45-yard line. The Cleveland Browns will open the 2016 season on the road in Philadelphia next Sunday, September 11th. It's the Browns and the Eagles on 1480 WHBC Sports. Pregame will start at 11 and the kickoff at 1 o'clock on Sunday, September 11th, Cleveland at Philadelphia. I do not have good vibes when it comes to this Browns team this year. I think this team is going to be awful. And I hope I'm dead wrong, but I think they're going to be absolutely awful, Jim.
I know they're really trying to build it. It seems like every time you pick the paper up, they're trading another player for a couple more draft picks. So I like the fact that they're building for the future. Oof. Speaking of future, I don't think he was going to have one. It looked kind of late when he got hit on that Hoover sideline.
I agree, yeah. And I get what they're doing, and that's what they have to do, but it just seems like every year, when you do that, though, you have to draft right, and it just seems like they haven't drafted very well. Now time will tell with this new head coach and
new regime,
but
that's a late hit. Yeah, that's not even close.
Yeah,
cheap shot by 84. Jenadin.
Well,
looked a little late and it looked a little wide. Sorry about that.
That's all right. 2nd down and 10 at the 45.
Single coverage to the top.
Hahn rolling to his left. Looks, throws. And is it a catch? It is a catch. That's sophomore Max Hartline. And we'll add this play to our repertoire. The Friends and Family Credit Union rock-solid play of the game. And how about this catch from the sophomore?
Getting both feet
Max
down.
Hartline.
What a heck of a catch. Sophomore.
And we'll announce our Friends and Family Credit Union rock-solid play of the game near the end of tonight's contest. And I can't remember, in the years I've been doing this, I can't remember so many big plays, and I have no idea. Maybe we've got a bunch more to come. Try to pick them out. Down the field, speaking of big plays, off the hands, off the fingertips of Hartline near the end zone. He just missed.
Streaking right up the seam, trying to play action pass and run the vertical concept with number 3. That's the inside receiver coming all the way to the back hash, and Max Hartline running right up the hash, and Brody just missed him. Pretty good coverage by number 10.
That was Benny back there.
Benny, who already has an interception earlier in the ball game. A little more air, could have dropped it in.
Look at that average.
You got a quarter average every time he touched the ball, 25 yards. Great ball game. Sophomore really stepping into his own as a 1-2 punch behind Tyler Adams.
And Van Zant with the carry. Couple more tough yards. Pounds inside the 35, gets it down to the 33. And that marks the end of the third quarter. How about this one? You stay right where you are because we've got a great fourth quarter coming up. 24-21 Hoover over Louisville on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Stick around. The fourth quarter is next.
Welcome to Friends and Family Credit Union, where we believe every member.
Here before the start of the fourth quarter. We start the fourth quarter, Hoover by 3 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Dave Sheets, Jim Ballard, sideline reporter Todd Porter, statistician Bob Jeffries here, our health plan TV replay game of the week. Glad you're with us. A 3-point ball game as we start the fourth, and Louisville with a 3rd down and 7 at the Hoover 33-yard line. 2 receivers to each side. Hahn back, looking middle, pressure coming, throws, and incomplete. Hartline was the intended receiver down near the 25. He was well covered by Sarbaugh. Let's go down on the field and check in now with Todd Porter. TP.
Guys, right now Louisville is driving north. They're going against the wind. There's a little bit of a wind difference down here. It'll be interesting to see as this game goes along how big that comes into this game, because Eric Sarbaugh right now has the wind at his back going to the south.
All right, thanks, Todd. That report brought to you by SARTA. Remember, at SARTA, come ride with us. So here we are, 4th down again, 4th and 7. At the Hoover, 33. Hahn back, blitz coming, down the field, ball in the air, batted away, incomplete. And making the play, tipping the ball away was Zach McHenry. Smart play, knew he couldn't bring it in, but he knocked it away instead.
Yeah, you don't want to pick the ball up there just because it's going to create worse field position for you.
Yep.
Just smart just to knock it down, not give the receiver an opportunity to pull it in. And big stop by Hoover's defense. Big stop.
Give credit to that Vikings defense as they turn Louisville away. No points. So now the Vikings hoping to reestablish some momentum here. If nothing else, maybe get a couple first downs and flip the field. And it's going to be George outside. Good run. Nate George out across the 40. Gets to the 42-yard line. That's a pickup of nearly 9 yards on first down.
Exactly what we were talking about a few minutes ago. Hoover not having the ability to move the ball on first down. Good run right there to get 9 yards, to create a 2nd and short. Makes it a lot easier for the offensive coordinator and head coach to call plays. Can open up your whole playbook. Might even be able to take a shot here.
Yeah.
Be a little aggressive if Louisville shows a lot of guys in the box, which they do. There's 11 guys within about 6 yards.
2nd and 1. Give to George. George, first down and more. Oh, got tackled. Nice play defensively. Louisville had number 13, Jared Maddie, hanging on. It's a Wacom Auto Group first down for the Vikings as they move it out now to their own 48. Looked like he was going to get a lot more.
Sure did. Maddie, another one of those talented sophomores coming in, getting some playing time at the safety position, just holding on for dear life and making a great open field tackle.
First down and 10, and Nate George, his numbers are starting to pick up a bit.
Sure are. 9 carries for 63 yards, averaging 7 yards per carry and 1 touchdown.
George again, and he crosses to the 50, maybe slightly into Louisville territory. And let's give the guys up front for the Vikings a little bit of credit here. They're making some holes, not large holes, but they're starting to make a few.
You know, they run a lot of zone blocking up front, so you don't have to physically dominate somebody from a standpoint of moving them one way or another. You just got to get in his way a little bit and create alleys and seams for these running backs from the cutback. We saw that on the play a couple plays ago and earlier in the ball game as well on the big touchdown run.
2nd down and about 8. Keller gonna throw. Caught. Making the reception. Harris still fighting for yardage. Look at that pile move. And it's gonna be a 1st down as they push it to the 39. No quit there.
It's like a rugby scrum. Lots of players for each team in that scrum, moving the pile ahead.
Vikings showing some good life here, some good bounce back. Look at this effort by Harris.
Just keeping his legs going. Here you see all the Hoover guys, all the black shirt players pushing in the back. Hoover running a real easy concept for the quarterback to read right there. They call that the stick concept, where you've got number 3 or the slot closest to the quarterback running a stick route, which is basically an option. Number 2 is running an out route, so you're reading off that flat defender. Johnny chose the inside guy for a big gain.
And George puts his head down, gets a couple more. From the 39 down to the 37. Maybe closer to the 37. 9.5 to go in this one. I can only imagine we are in for a great finish. 3-point lead by the Vikings. We haven't had a score in a while. So George lines up behind Keller. You just get the feeling that Hoover may try to go for a bomb here before too long. Bad snap. Keller going to be dragged down back at the 48-yard line. No chance as the ball came back on the ground, and Keller lucky to cover it up.
Man, we keep talking about it every week and every game we do. Teams that run the spread, you've got to ensure the snap every single time. You can't hold your breath when this happens. Plays like this absolutely destroy drives. Not to mention Hoover had a lot of momentum getting the ball out of their own end zone after a big stop on 4th down. Now they're 3rd and larger than Stark County. What's this? I missed my American or Ohio history in school. What's a county larger than Stark?
Cuyahoga.
Cuyahoga. 3rd and Cuyahoga at this point.
Yeah, at the 49.
Not a lot of play calls for this.
That's a guess, by the way. Under pressure, wide open. George to the 40. George to the 35. Big play, but it's still going to bring up 4th down. And about 6.
Now it's manageable.
Yeah.
Now you've got a shot to go for it on 4th down. As Todd said, you might have a little wind behind your back going to the south, but the ball being at the 35-yard line, you've still got a 52-yard field goal. Not sure they're going to want to take the gamble on this, especially with a quarterback of a caliber as John Keller. I put the ball in his hands. They might sprint him out to give him the run-pass option. It's going to be a great call right here to see what Coach does.
Sarbaugh does have a big leg if they get closer, and he'll have the wind behind him. But it's 4th down now. Straight ahead, George. And he did not get it. Takes it to the 32.
I don't like the call.
Let's check in with Todd Porter on the sideline. What'd you see, Todd?
Guys, I don't understand that call. It's 4th and 6. You hand the ball off up the middle. If you're going to do that, why not just punt the ball, try and get some field position and flip it here and make Louisville drive at least 80 yards, if not 90 or 95 yards.
Yep.
I agree with you, Todd. I think that's a great point. I don't understand the call either from a standpoint of you've got one of the best quarterbacks in the area in John Keller that can hurt you with his arm or legs. And yes, he has thrown 1 interception, but over the course of almost 2 games, he's only thrown 1 interception in 45 attempts.
Yep. Back is Hahn. He's looking. He'll throw. Adams caught. Keeps his feet in bounds at the 42. A gain of 9 on 1st down. That throw from Hahn to Adams. And I'll tell you what, if you like great wide receiver play, you just sit back and watch Tyler Adams go to work.
You know, there's several things that make him impressive. First of all, physically, he's a very strong kid. He's fast as far as an A to B 40 time and a 4.51, 4.47, depending on what day you get him. He's a great 20-yard agility guy. The thing I like about him, and I've spent last 3 years with him, being around him, he really understands how to route. He's got 7 catches right now for 87 yards and a touchdown. Could be the second 100-yard receiver for Louisville tonight, which I'm going to say that he's going to be at some point.
Play clock was down to 2. Hahn going to keep as he gets across the 40. Not a lot of running room.
Finished my point about Tyler Adams. That he really understands position in that he understands defenses, where to sit down, how to run routes versus different coverages. He understands how to change speeds, changing the way that he comes off the ball as far as stemming a route from the inside to the outside. But the thing that I love the most, he's a hand catcher. He doesn't allow the ball to get into his body. He's a strong hand guy. He's going to go up and snatch that thing. 3rd down and a long yard at the 41. Got to think Hahn's going to keep it here. No, he's going to throw. Catch by Hartline. And out across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. That's a check by Brody Hahn to Max Hartline right there. It's something that we watch in film. It's a quick play action, but it's single coverage, and the safety was 10 yards off. So instead of trying to hand the ball up the middle where all the defensive players are, the linemen, the linebackers, you throw the ball out to the slots, you go let them go one-on-one with the safety, and most of the time the wide receiver is going to win that matchup.
And a great block by Logan Thomas over there on the far side, number 9, and he makes the reception right on cue. And it's like the Louisville offense is saying, nice block, let's get you the football.
Taking care of guys that block.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's most impressive. 3 of these wide receivers for Louisville on this offense are new guys. You know, Jack Davis caught the big touchdown pass to really get this Louisville team going to start the second half. He hadn't had a catch all season. These guys are unfazed. They don't rebuild. They just reload.
2nd down and 3 from the 38-yard line. Adams in motion. They'll give it to him. Left side. Adams. Flag flies. Adams down the sideline. But I'm going to guess it's going to come back because there is a flag. Man, it looked like he was shot out of a cannon when he turned the corner.
Got that second gear.
Oh,
so fast, so quick.
But it's going to come back. It's going to come back. The flag came in right as he was getting to the sideline before he turned it upfield. Looks like they're going to get one of the offensive linemen with a hold.
Jet sweep. You saw the jersey from number 32 on defense for Hoover get pulled. I understand the frustration for the Louisville faithful on this sideline, but from where we're sitting, seeing the replay, it was an obvious hold. See if Louisville can overcome this penalty.
Well, when they're watching this on TV tonight, they'll see it. All right. So take the points off the board. 2nd down and a long 9. Back near the 45. We are down to 5.5 minutes left. Back is Hahn. He's going to go deep down the sideline. Intercepted. Jenninen picked it off as it was intended for number 9, Logan Thomas. And we're going to take a timeout. 5:29 to go. We'll come back with that Hoover first down. Our score, the Vikings 24 and the Leopards 21 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard.
My name is Jim Ballard, retired NFL quarterback and 2008 College Football Hall of Fame inductee from the...
Back at Hoover as Louisville trails 24-21 on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. A Jenninen interception a moment ago. And on first down, Hoover trying to run the ball in the form of Rakowski. And Louisville smells it out defensively, a loss of a yard. So that'll move the ball back to the 9.
Just playing the percentages if you're Louisville. Hoover has yet to attempt a pass on first down in the second half. They're loading up the box. They're stuffing them on first down. Again, we keep talking about it, creating 2nd and long, 3rd and long. They got to have a positive play here. Hey, there's plenty of time left on the clock, 4:50 and ticking. Louisville gets a stop. Hoover doesn't flip the field. Louisville's going to come back out in 4-down territory with a short field.
Keller with the quarterback draw. Keller with good running room out across the 10 to the 15 to the 16. John DeMarco on the side, and a flag comes in late. We've got a penalty flag coming in at the end of the play. Usually going to get a personal foul in that situation. Let's see. Down to 4:38. This may go against Hoover. Let's see. That was Jimmy Leonard of Louisville clapping it up. He thinks the penalty is going to go against the Vikings. There's Brian Baum in his second year at Hoover. Here's the call. Dead ball. Personal foul against Hoover. Boy, that's a big one.
Wow, that is a big one.
That's a half the distance.
Haven't been a lot of penalties, but the penalties that have happened during the course of the game have been big ones. We just saw the one by Louisville that came back on the Tyler Adams touchdown, and now a pretty good game by John Keller on second down with a good quarterback draw, moving them back inside the, is it the 10, Dave?
Yeah, we'll put it at the 8, Jim, and it's third down and about 12.
The problem with the penalty was it was after the play was dead, so you don't get the play over again. Now you lose the down and you lose the yardage.
Keller back in trouble, gets out of it to the 10, 15, 20. Keller all the way out near the 27-yard line, and a Hoover first down. And what a play. It looked like Keller was going to be sacked, but it's a Wake-Em Auto first down.
Game-changing play. Running the sprint out, backside, 67, just didn't miss the play. Came over top of him. Keller's just too fast for that Louisville defense. Great crackback block right there by number 2, Alex Nicholson, senior, 6 foot, 150 pounds.
Great block. Gave him another 5 yards anyway.
Sure did, and he got out of bounds without taking a shot. But man, if you're Louisville, you absolutely have to have that stop on that play.
4:11 to go. 1st and 10. It's George straight ahead. George with a couple of tough yards. And Louisville comes away with the football. But the officials say we're going to keep it with Hoover. Things are getting tight as we are under 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Start looking at timeout situation here, Jim. Both teams have 2 to work with.
If you're Hoover, you want to massage that clock down. Hoover has a beautiful stadium. You can see the play clocks in both corners of the end zones. So there's not going to be a mystery and have to worry about the referee holding the hand up. You're going to be able to see exactly how much time left. Work it down to two seconds.
Keller being chased, throws, and incomplete. He avoids the sack.
Avoids the sack, which is great, but the incompletion does stop the clock. One of those situations where it's kind of like, I can't take the sack because I don't want to lose the yards. Good pressure outside by number.
Yep, Casey Now, 22.
Casey Now, 22. Couldn't really see it in the replay. But in that situation, throwing the ball away is absolutely the right play by not, you don't want to take the sack and lose 10 yards there. But what it does is it stops the clock for Louisville, so they don't have to call any timeouts. Big third down again for Louisville. See if they can come up big or see if Keller hurts them again with their legs on a long third down.
Third down and about 8. Keller back, looking down the field, throws incomplete. Pass intended for Sarbaugh and just off his hands at the 45. So we've got a Hoover punt coming up.
Brings up a 4th down and 8.
Very close on that connection.
Jared Matthew, number 13, getting some quality minutes and key times. Pretty good coverage. Looked like he had him beat, though. That's a throw that John usually makes. Pretty good coverage again by Jared. And clock stops again, setting up another Louisville possible comeback in the last 3 minutes of a ball game, Dave. It's exactly what they did last week up in Canfield.
Sarbaugh has the wind behind him. And boy, does he get a kick and a roll. Down inside the 10, and it's going to roll out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Oh, my goodness.
You know, we talked about him in the outset.
That was a 66-yard punt.
Unbelievable.
He's a weapon.
At the best possible time of the game.
Absolutely.
You know, he's kicked a key field goal. He's made some stops and some knockdowns as a defensive back. And now to come up big with a 66-yard punt in the last 3 minutes to completely flip the field. And so now this is true. If Brody Hahn and this Louisville offense pulls off this comeback and this drive, I thought last week was impressive what he did against Canfield, but to go 96 on the road to win would be epic and absolute Elway-like.
Remember, they just need a field goal. Hahn throws, caught, Hartline, running room. Look at that effort as he gets out near the 20-yard line. That's going to be a first down, a Wake-Em Auto first down. Stops the clock with 2:55 to go. Both teams have 2 timeouts. Remember, if you're thinking field goal here, you're going to be kicking into the wind, and it's significant.
Brody he wasn't even looking to that side, just has the wherewithal. He was looking to the right the whole way, spun his head around, saw Max Hartline out of the corner of his eye, and to get the ball out and throw it right on the money was a great play.
Thrown to Hartline, incomplete on that far sideline. Ball at the 25-yard line. Looks like he may have rushed that one a little bit.
Yeah, he did, and that's a throw that Brody's made 100 times. It was just an easy 5-yard out route. The corner ended up getting cleared out by the outside receiver. A throw Brody can make. Just think he needs to settle back in, take his drop, slide the left foot back, stick the foot in the ground, and make the throw.
2:41 left. Second down and 10 at the 20.
Hoover showing blitz off the edge.
Does Louisville have another fourth quarter comeback in them? Hahn escapes, 25, 30 and out of bounds. Stops the clock and near a first down. Looks like he's going to be short by about a yard. Nope, 2 yards. They'll move it to the 28.
Another fourth quarter score.
Brody Hahn, as you see, 16 for 29, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions early in the game in the first quarter. The last one really hurt to put it at 3. See if he's going to take him down and even that touchdown interception.
Third down and 2. Hahn throws, caught by Adams. First down. Adams to the 33 and then knocked down. And a late flag comes in. Oof. Little extracurriculars there.
Hoover getting a little chippy. Again, not keeping their composure. This is the second personal foul penalty in the fourth quarter where they've gone almost 3.5 quarters without any penalties.
Yep, got to keep your head. This is going to be 15 yards on the end of it, I think.
You can't give an offense like Louisville 15 extra yards.
Helmet-to-helmet contact is the call. Oh, that hurts. That's going to go now all the way out to the 47-yard line.
I can see why the flag got yanked on that. I don't think it was a vicious hit, but it was the fact that you said, Dave, helmet to helmet. They're trying to protect kids with all the concussions issues, so much and so prevalent now in today's game.
Hahn back, he'll throw, and Davis with the catch, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 46.
They're going to keep the clock running. I thought Davis was able to get out of bounds, but the referee thought that he was stopped in play. Just a hitch route. 6 back to 5. Nice hand catch by Jack Davis. I'm really impressed with how he's catching the ball tonight. It's so good to see him play well because he's such a great kid.
Yeah, that was clearly a case where they should have stopped the clock. Brody Hahn carries down for a Wake-Em Auto first down for Louisville, and they're marching the football quickly. Let's go on the sideline now. Todd Porter's there, TP.
Guys, I really like what John DeMarco's doing. It's very short passes, or he's keeping the ball on the ground with Brody Hahn. Not going to take a whole lot of risk right now.
That report brought to you by Sarda. Come ride with us, our good friends at Sarda. Hahn pumps, rolling, look, and he'll toss it out of bounds. On first down and 10. Incomplete, stops the clock, 1:38 left in the ball game. Louisville trying at the least to get into field goal range, at the most score a go-ahead touchdown.
Smart. Last 2 minutes of the game, don't want to try and do anything stupid. It's obvious 4-down territory. Just throw the ball away in first down. We've still got second, third, and fourth to try and regroup.
And you throw a pick here, it's probably ball game. Back is Hahn. Good protection, he'll throw. High up in the air and not able to hang on is Thomas. He probably would tell you he should have caught it, but it was up in the air quite a bit.
Tough catch to make. What you don't want to do when you're throwing the ball over the middle is spread your guy out a little bit. I think this is a throw that Brody would have liked to have back. It's a 3-step drop. He just tightens that front leg up just a little bit, causing the ball to be just a tinch high. However, fourth quarter, You know you're going to take that kidney shot, be the hero, pull the ball in. But as a quarterback, make it easy on your guys. Don't throw the ball above the chin so he takes a shot.
Big play on 3rd down and 10. Here we go. Hahn steps out of trouble, throws, Hartline. No, he can't hang on. Down at the 15-yard line. He had it, but he was not able to haul it in. And it will bring up 4th down and 10. And it's come down to this.
Just a little bit high.
Yep,
Tough catch to make. But, man, how ironic is it again for the 2nd week in a row for Louisville?
How about this?
To have the ball game come down essentially on a 4th and 10 play. It's exactly what happened last week against Canfield. I don't know if you're Coach DeMarco, if you take a timeout right here, which I think they're going to talk about it, really think about the play that they want to run.
Yep. And the Louisville faithful in front of us, all up and cheering. Yeah, there's your timeout. Going to let the play clock run down, and now a timeout taken by the Louisville Leopards. We're going to take a timeout as well. We have 1:26 to go on the Affinity Medical Center scoreboard. Hoover continues to lead by 3. Louisville offense moments ago. Time will tell. 1:19 remaining in our health plan TV replay game of the week. Stay with us. Our wrap-up report coming up at the end of the ball game. We'll have the stats and hopefully hear from the winning coach in just a few moments. Keller going to carry. Keller across the 40 to near the 42-yard line. And there, Louisville will use their final timeout, Jim. With 1:13 to go, the Leopards are out of timeouts and quickly running out of hope.
I think it's victory formation now. If you run it right, there's 30 seconds on the play clock. You just let it run down, take a knee, you regroup again, take a knee, and let the clock run out. Here's what I find interesting. You know, we're talking about the lottery numbers tomorrow, being on the 20-yard line.
Sure.
Dave, last night's ball game was Massillon and Glen Oak, right?
Yeah.
The score in that game was what?
I believe it was 24-21.
And today?
I believe it's 24-21.
So I think I'm going to play 20, 24, and 21. But unbelievable that it's 24-21 on back-to-back nights. I guess it's a BOGO Thursday, Friday with 24-21.
Outstanding, yeah. Outstanding. This has been another tremendous ball game.
Great ball game. Kids have played their hearts out. A well-coached ball game on both sides of the ball. Both coaches making great adjustments.
George going to carry, turns the corner, and Nate George, I'll tell you what,
Number 24, Nate
for no bigger than he is, Jim, Nate George, listed at 5'7", 160. I mean, he is extremely tough. They're asking an awful lot of him.
That's a soaking wet
I'm sure.
160.
Yeah, I bet it's
Who's their sponsor with the rocks? Rock Solid. He's got to have rocks in his shoes if he's 160, because there's no way if we got him on the scale he's going to weigh 160 unless he's got a helmet and some rocks in his shoes.
You're right.
But he's laying it all on the line. You know, he did that last week. He runs extremely hard. He runs bigger than he is.
Yep.
And you can't measure a kid on paper or in the program or anything else what's in his chest. The kid's got a big heart, and he's laying it all out there on his sleeve tonight.
And how about this? Hoover letting the clock run down and then calling a timeout with 28 seconds to go. How about Brian Baum in his second year, had a rough year a season ago, and he's got this Hoover team off to a 2-0 start. And this is a team that people are going to be talking about tomorrow morning when they wake up.
Sure it is. And here's what I find interesting, especially after last night. With the quarterback from Glen Oak going out, Tate, this Federal League is wide open now. And if there's a player that gets hurt, you know, teams, you know, you feel bad about it. You want to see the kid come back. But at the end of the day, man, our chance to win the league just got a whole lot better. There's no feelings.
Sure.
This Hoover team is rolling right now. They're 2-0 right now. Coach Baum has done a tremendous job. One thing that some of the viewers at home might not understand, his first year coming in here, he wasn't allowed to bring in all his guys all at once. So he had to stay with what he had last year. Some of the philosophies might have been a little bit different. And this year, he's got his guys in place. They're playing extremely well. 2 close game victories this year. And to win this one at home is a tremendous victory for them and will carry them, I believe, later in this season.
How about this? This will send shockwaves around the county. The Hoover Vikings tonight knock off the Louisville Leopards 24-21 in our Health Plan TV replay game of the week, as the Vikings go to 2-0 and Louisville falls to 1-.